Welcome to the news. If you snooze, you lose. A lot has been going on in the cryptocurrency market, and we are here to keep you up to speed with what has been going on during the week. Firstly, the debt ceiling has been raised in the United States. So, from what I checked, I think about 4 trillion will be pumped into the market, and as you can see, the S&P 500 is already surging, which is the index tracking 500 top companies in the United States. So it is surging at the moment, having green candles, and the market is speculating that the altcoins and bitcoins might follow after this, but I don't really think so, because there is a lot of crackdowns in banks or companies supporting cryptocurrency. For example, investment bank TD Cowen shuts crypto unit a year after opening. This is one of many banks that have lost access to cryptocurrency, including here in the UK as well. Somebody like Binance, you can't even pay money into your Binance at this point. So there is reduced access to fiat. You cannot basically use your money, get your money into the cryptocurrency in the first place using all these channels. So because they were blocked off, that makes sense that the S&P traditional market is pumping in comparison to cryptocurrency. That makes a lot of sense. So again, as part of the crackdown around the cryptocurrency, we have Senator Elizabeth Warren talking about crypto helping fund the fentanyl trade from China. So again, fentanyl is a major problem in America, and America is trying to find a way to solve it. But attaching it to cryptocurrency is what I don't really agree that this is the fault of the cryptocurrency, because I think bad people will always be bad people. They always find their way around. Think about what was happening before cryptocurrency. Was the world a better place before cryptocurrency came about? So here it says that more than over 90 Chinese companies producing fentanyl precursors, or the chemicals needed to make the drug, or accept cryptocurrency in the name of Bitcoin or stable coins. And again, I'm not saying this is a lie. This might actually be true, because cryptocurrency is a very efficient money transaction platform, and way cheaper than your traditional networks as well. So it makes sense that they will be using that. But at the same time, what I keep thinking is, since the bad guys can also use a car and buy a very fast car and drive away very quickly from their crime scene, does it make the car a bad thing? Because you still on the other side have people that use the car for good things, or not doesn't mean that everybody that owns a car is a criminal, if that makes sense. So but again, Elizabeth Warren is I think she's in her 70s. The last time I checked will be 73. So I think it will be quite difficult to convince her on the technology anyway. Amidst all these crackdowns on cryptocurrency and senators cracking down and saying everybody should shut down cryptocurrency, we have the CEO of Coinbase worried about the future of cryptocurrency in the United States. Obviously, he should be worried because he owns Coinbase. Coinbase is a centralized exchange as well, and running in the US, but they've been having a lot of issues around regulations, because there hasn't been any much clarity around regulations. Everybody's relying on this gentleman here, Gary Gensler, to provide some clarity on the regulations around cryptocurrency assets. But United States, obviously, you can see Elizabeth Warren and a lot more other people talking about the negatives about the blockchain technology. Again, there has been delays around the regulations itself in comparison to places like the Europe that has recently released their MICA to make it out in the public of how they intend to regulate crypto assets, and that brings some clarity into the market. And he mentioned other financial powerhouses like the UK, United Arab Emirates, Brazil, Japan, European Union, Australia, and Singapore as being, more of a crypto hub, and bringing in clarity in regulations, which is drawing a lot of people into these areas. A lot of people are moving to the Dubai. A lot of people are moving into the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, and even this El Salvador, because of their clarity around the cryptocurrency. So I wouldn't even blame them. If you have a company around cryptocurrency, it makes sense to move to where the laws are favorable to you. So that is one of the worries of the Coinbase CEO. But again, he owns a business in the US, and the last time I heard, he's already looking for licenses in other more favorable countries. And I'm guessing in case the United States keeps doing the business the way they decided to do it, he can easily migrate to a different country and continue his business. Bybit announces exit from Canada. I think Canada, just like the United States, is another country that is not really favorable to cryptocurrency companies. I think the likes of Binance have left, OKS have left, and we also have Bybit leaving as well. So I'm quite sure they are cracking down on cryptocurrency down there, making the laws unfavorable to all these centralized exchanges, again forcing them to leave. But again, I'm quite sure business will be going on as usual in Canada, because you have what we call decentralized exchanges. And once you understand how wallets work and how you can pull your funds to your wallet and become your own have a self custody of your wallet, and decide on what transactions you make on the decentralized exchange, which cannot necessarily be controlled by anybody, if that makes sense. So again, not surprising how things are going. Moving on, again, I think all these people should really learn from the likes of China. China banned cryptocurrency probably in 2021, but again, there are still evidence to show that business is still going on as usual in China. In fact, here you can see here the writer said in the bustling labyrinth of global cryptocurrency, China market stands as a resilient titan despite regulatory tussles that have pushed many domestic crypto companies to foreign shores. China crypto landscape remains vibrant, diverse, and innovative. Again, down to the decentralized nature of the network, down to the open ledger technology, no single point of control. Any country can decide to ban cryptocurrency or whatever, it still keeps moving on. The best thing to do is to find a good regulation on how to regulate it and actually utilize it, because it has shown to be very useful, very quick means of transferring assets, money into any country in split seconds for pennies as fees in comparison to the rail that we are using at this point. I don't really understand it. And a good example of the people that also banned cryptocurrency without it making any changes in the country is Nigeria. So Nigeria banned crypto whenever they did and introduced their CBDC. CBDC, which is the central bank digital currency, wasn't adopted by anybody. Nobody wanted to use it. Again, you can introduce something, but you should find a way to force people to use it. I guess the country can decide to reduce your access to physical cash and force you in one way or the other to use the CBDs. I don't see I see countries like Nigeria doing something like that. So it wouldn't be surprising if they did such. But again, from the statements that these cryptocurrencies will probably lead to inflation and increased potential risk of unchecked authority over money supply, which could result in inflation. Nigerian currency is already as inflated as anything as you can think. I think the time I left Nigeria in 2013, a pound to a naira was about 150, 200 naira, but I think at this point it's about 900. So you do the math. So again, I think it's time we tried something else, just like some other countries. So Kenya, on this other side, doesn't really like the idea of CBDC. They are highlighting that it wasn't really successful in Nigeria. So they talked about Nigeria adopting the CBDC, but they haven't seen much success from it. So Kenya is really questioning the functionality, or the positives of having a central bank digital currency introduction, which is really the norm now. I think a lot of countries are trying to introduce their own central bank digital currency to have some degree of control and to also utilize that blockchain technology, because I think they are really understanding the positives of this blockchain technology. So again, in that way, I don't really mind the CBDC, because I feel the CBDC again justifies the need or the use of the blockchain technology, which is underlying Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think it further validates it. And when you're now saying the people can use their CBDC, maybe they can use their CBDC to buy some Bitcoin. But the problem with using CBDC will be that it will be controlled by a centralized party, which is the government. So they can also decide to cut you off or inflate it. So again, back to the problem we're having with fiat. Fiat is constantly being inflated, which is why your money is losing value every day. Now, if you're using CBDC, it will just be a digital fiat, nothing more. In comparison to something like Bitcoin, that you only have 21 million existing, so it's a scarce commodity and nobody can inflate it. How do we know? It's a code and nobody can change it. So it's a code, nobody can change it. It's immutable and no single point of control. Can you see the power around Bitcoin? And again, why the government doesn't like the idea. They don't know that they don't have control over that Bitcoin itself. So again, I think that's the major problem there. Not really that they don't understand the positives of a blockchain technology. So moving on, whilst others are busy destroying, some others are busy building. Hong Kong introduced their new regulations, trying to start being more friendly to cryptocurrency, and now they are working with the UAE central banks to coordinate on crypto regulations. Again, good news. I don't have any issues with cryptocurrency regulations. It makes a lot of sense. So if you go down, you see here their focus on cross-border trade settlements could open up the possibilities of central bank digital currencies being used, speeding up transfers and reducing costs, as well as reliance on the US dollar. So they're already thinking about being less reliant on the US dollar. So both UAE and Hong Kong have already been working together to build Bridge, a new blockchain that supports multiple CBDCs and aims to tackle the limitations of today's cross-border payments. Again, cross-border payments, the limitations of so they've already understood the impact this could have on improving cross-border payments. Again, they will be creating their own blockchain which will be controlled by them. Again, I don't have a problem with it. Again, for me, I feel that highlights the importance of blockchain technology and therefore Bitcoin eventually. So Bitcoin standard author is now advising El Salvador President Nayib Bukele. So President Nayib Bukele is the president of El Salvador, and they have basically adopted Bitcoin as their legal tender. So they are using Bitcoin as their legal tender, and they are now having an economist advisor and the author of the Bitcoin standard. So the economist himself says that there is a possibility that the El Salvador will be free from debt in 5 to 10 years based on their adoption of this blockchain technology. He also said the country has a large potential to be a hub for innovation. Why is this the case? They have a zero tax for technology companies, which has been attracting a lot of companies. So again, if I were a company like Coinbase, I wouldn't stay for long begging the United States to change their law. I will happily move to somewhere like El Salvador or move to somewhere like Dubai and set up my business and enjoy zero tax on my company. More money. I don't even see why he should be wasting a lot of time in the United States. If I had a company, I'll be running to Dubai by now. Just in case you heard that I moved to Dubai, now you know why. So on the positive as well, T-Mobile owner are now getting involved as a validator on the Polygon network. This is one of the validators they will be running for the blockchain technology. I think they are already involved in Ethereum validation, Chainlink validation, Q. I don't really know what is Q. I know Celo and I know Flow. So they're already dipping their toes in the cryptocurrency company. I think if you watch all these very big tech companies, Google, Apple, Samsung, they are all already getting involved in crypto. I think it's a good idea to watch all these big companies and the moves they are making. I think it gives you a good idea of how important a technology is or not, because I believe they are smarter than me by far and have a lot of resources and the brightest brains working for them. If they are seeing something and they are investing towards something, there must be something, in my opinion. But anyway, on the other side as well, you see companies like PayPal backing a wallet called Magic. Again, I believe this will be some sort of off and on ramp for cryptocurrency. So again, PayPal getting involved and managed to raise 52 million in a strategic fund, a round led by PayPal Ventures. So again, Magic aims to simplify Web3 wallets through a software development kit or SDK that removes the need for seed phrase. This solution continues to be a non-custodial, however, and the company offers end-to-end onboarding via customizable wallets, NFT minting, and authentication. So again, off and on ramp by PayPal. PayPal is already in the business of off and on ramp. We use PayPal to pay for products. So again, I think this is a positive for the cryptocurrency industry. And again, watch these companies as they are making their moves. I think there must be something they are looking out for. Again, MasterCard sees a lot of promise in blockchain tech if safety and simplicity are prioritized. I think a lot of companies are being pushed back because of lack of regulatory clarity. If the regulations become clearer and clearer over time, which is why I like when the regulations are coming out, especially the favorable ones. But again, that encourages companies that want to build with these assets, with this blockchain technology, to get involved, and that brings in, global adoption. Again, speaking about global adoption, I like talking about NFTs. Nike talking about their swoosh NFTs. So Nike NFTs to make their way into EA Sports games and its millions of fans. So if you have a read, in a major step towards mainstream gamer adoption for crypto, Nike's non-fungible tokens platform Swoosh will soon be integrated with EA Sports, potentially allowing Nike's virtual footwear and apparel to appear in games. I think this is absolutely fantastic. Nike getting involved, EA Sports getting involved, PlayStations. Can you imagine that? I think this is global adoption taking place. Again, that's all from me today. Click like and subscribe to the network and support Chesslock Trades as we gradually grow the team with your help, of course. And thanks as always for listening. See you on the next one. Peace.